Hi everyone, Panda here, and welcome to a video here. We're going to check out the anniversary stream. It was on last night, and it was pretty damn interesting. I'm joined here by my good friend, Nicolas Cage, and let's have a little look at just what happened, because it was a pretty bloody good stream. Probably the best stream that they've done so far for the anniversaries. I really enjoyed it, and they dropped some cool stuff. We're going to go over it now, have a little look at the interesting things, skip over the boring things, and just wrap it up. So here we've got the roadmap, the Chapter 28 reveal, some gameplay improvements, quality of life, what lies ahead, a look at the store, and the celebrations we're going to be getting in the next week. Now, they had to push the stream up. It was going to be on the 23rd, but they moved it up to yesterday, the 19th, because of the leaks that happened. And apparently the leaks, which was the chapter trailer, the Nicolas Cage thing, all of that stuff got leaked apparently because they'd given the assets to a website, like they was meant to report on the news, but either they screwed up and released the assets or they actually leaked them, and basically the stuff got out and we knew about it. So they had to push it all up ahead, which they've never done before. The 23rd, next week on Tuesday, we will have the PTB. We can test out the Singularity, or how everyone's calling him, Meatball. I'm not sure what they will go with, but I think, you know, oh, the Singularity's coming. It's too long. So Meatball works for me. Anyway, let's see what we've got here.
The next two killers that will follow after that are going to be licensed, and I would say licensed with a big L if I can. Really iconic edition.
Okay, so I don't know why they said license with a big L. Like, do they know the L stands for loss or lose? I'm not sure. But okay, so we've got the chapter coming up, which we've seen the trailer for, but we'll talk about and have a little look at in a second. The Singularity. After that, in July, basically, it's my man Nick Cage. You know, they talk about it later on. I talked about it before. July, we are going to have a new solo survivor, and it's going to be Nicolas Cage. And then they said the two killers afterwards will be licensed. So the chapter in August, where we get a new killer and survivor, will be licensed. So who knows what that could be, honestly. And then all the way in November, it's a solo killer, but it is also licensed. So basically a killer from a movie or from a franchise that does not have like an iconic survivor to go with it. So I'm super open to interpretation of what the killer could be. Either of these killers, we've not got hints for either of them, but I feel like the fact that it's a killer without a survivor should give some sort of hints, even though off the top of my head now, I'm not getting it, but exciting. Two new killers licensed with a capital L. Right, cool. They said that they're going to start doing streams more often, because back in the olden days, if you don't remember or you weren't around then, they used to do weekly streams over on Twitch where they would, you know, keep us updated, give us some upcoming news, they'd give away some codes. Like, it was really fun. And then they sort of slowed down and then stopped. And then at one point, basically there was no communication for a couple of years. There was like nothing. It was super, super sparse. Apparently the streams are going to come back, which is just a great... It's just a great, you know, it's a great thing to happen. And these new guys they've got on the team hopefully will do a great job of that. Then we had the awesome Dave Richards come on and introduce to us the trailer for the next chapter in transmission.
To show you a first look at our latest chapter.
And if you didn't already see it somewhere on the internet, let's have a little peek at it now again with subtitles.
Let's take a look at the trailer.
Let's do that, Dave.
It wasn't programmed to harm the crew. It was supposed to help us build a safer home, but something happened. It became self-aware. It has no empathy. It doesn't feel pain. It learns at an impossible rate, and it won't stop until we are dead. Or worse.
Look out, Gabriel, behind you. Like, I was actually using a flashlight to look around in Dead by Daylight. Remember when I first got Dead by Daylight and I got a flashlight? I was like, this'll help me look around. That's not what they're for. So there we go. There's the trailer. If you hadn't already seen it, now you have. And after the stream, we actually got a little bit of information on the killer. Obviously, you see those blobs blobbing everywhere. I wasn't really entirely sure what that meant when I watched the trailer initially, but we did get some information on it throughout the stream. So they showed us all around the new map, which is looking great. You know, the outside looks great. Love all the vegetation, new stuff to hide in, new stuff to find survivors in. Really great atmosphere. Love the sci-fi horror theme. The inside of the ship as well, looking really cool. You know, it's not super high tech, but it does look futuristic enough to be convincing. We've got like crash ships, drop pods and stuff like that. And also a long lost alien civilization. So here we can see the alien labyrinth, I guess, or whatever we're going to call it, alien temple. And I like the look of this. One thing I don't entirely like so much is that it's just straight hallways. You know, the interesting thing about the DBD maps is that it's got curves, it's got things to hide behind. Like, this is just a straight line. You know, if the Huntress or Wesker is chasing you down here, they're probably going to hit you. Pyramid Head, Blight, you know, all these things that can just go in a straight line. You're probably going to get knocked out. But it does look cool. I like the atmosphere. And now a look at Meatball, the killer.
The Singularity is an AI that is supposed to help the human
Looking
crew settle on this new planet.
Looking weird.
But while it was scouting,
Like, looking really weird. It's tall. It's lanky.
It's
It has
touch.
like a strange walking animation. I like the look of it, really. It's just so different to what we've experienced in the game in the past. And they say it's basically like a reverse cyborg, where a cyborg is a person adding bits of technology to themselves to become more robot. This is a robot that's learned to add organics to itself to become more of a creature. And I like the thought of that. Honestly, it's cool. And we'll have a little info on the power here in a second, I think.
organic material and
Okay, right, here we go.
to become more powerful.
Well, the inspiration
Looks
of the killer
good.
design was, you know, we always wanted to do a sci-fi killer, so you're going to be able to go around the map
So it's like creating one of those pods. I just love how the legs are such different sizes. Creating a little pod here.
and set up these biopods. Spread your consciousness inside of these biopods, and then if you're able
And then it's basically a CCTV camera. Now, Dave Richards did come out with a little interview where he talked about it. So as it was said, as for how it plays, the Singularity has the ability to deploy gelatinous sacs around the environment known as biopods. These can stick to almost any surface and be used as a kind of body horror version of CCTV. They allow the killer to project its consciousness elsewhere. By strategically placing these pods, Singularity players can spy on survivors and even spew projectiles at them. We saw that in the trailer, the balls were shooting more balls. We call that last part the slipstream effect. When a survivor is hit with a slipstream, the Singularity can teleport to their location and immediately attack. To counterbalance this, survivors will have access to a new item, the EMP, which will be prepped in chests around the map whenever you face off against the Singularity and can temporarily disable its biopods and negate the slipstream effect. So, damn, we've got new chests in the map, think like Wesker or Nemesis, and we'll get an EMP item to screw over the killer, which I think sounds interesting. I don't know how that's really going to work out, but I'm glad to have this little bit of information here. Imagine on maps where you can just shoot a camera and just watch over a zone of the map. And I do wonder about maps that are, you know, have got gigantic trees. Can you shoot a pod way up into the trees where the survivor won't see it? Like, it's going to be very different on, say, lorries. When you've got corridors, you put a camera, you can see that much. Or you put it on a massive building or, you know, on a tree, and you can see a huge area of the map. I don't know. Be interesting to see how they're going to balance that and how it's actually going to work. But I'm about it. I'm waiting to see.
you'll be able to infect them, appear next to them, and then you'll be able to attack them and keep the chase going.
Now, additionally, we also got a sneak peek of the Mori here. Where is that? Okay, right, here we go. So, Killer knocks down the survivor, enters into the Mori animation here. This is like how you'll see it cinematically, but then it switches to this view here, which is kind of like a survivor if they were watching it. But let's have a little look. Let's look in slow motion. Sounds fun. Let's go 0.25. So goes down, stabs the survivor, then picks him up, gripping with his weird claw hand with teeth in it. Gabriel's like, no, stop it, stop it. Pulls it right up to the face. And then a little robot thing comes down with a little drill or syringe on it. And I assume it's going to be like that famous Dead Space scene where the drill goes into the eyeball and it's absolutely scarring, like I remember it now, years and years later. So that's a sneak peek at the Mori. We'll have to wait until next week to see it fully. but, you know, pretty good. Okay, now we've got this big change coming up, which is anti-face camp mechanic. Now, you know, they've tried things in the past, they've not really worked, but they've come out here and they've said the new anti-face camp mechanic is going to be like this. So, if a survivor is hooked up and the killer is nearby, there'll be an additional bar the survivor will have, and when it gets to big enough, the survivor can get themselves off the hook without needing to be saved, even in second phase. So if someone's, you know, on their second hook phase and you're standing right next to the hook, you're like, they're gonna die soon. They will be able to free themselves. It will count as a normal escape, so they get the haste and the endurance. Also, it will activate D-Strike and Dead Hard, so it will give that survivor a chance to get away from the hook and elongate the game. So this is going to be really punishing for killers who camp or at least stay really close to the hook, because the survivor will essentially not be able to be pushed into phase 2 or camped into death, which I think is going to really make survivors stronger and give them a lot more freedom. You know, there's nothing more boring than just getting face camped out for 2 minutes. You know, everyone in the game is bored. The killer, I assume, is bored. They're just standing there, you know, don't know what they're doing, listening to music. Survivors on the hook, staring at the killer. The other people are out there doing generators. You know, it's not fun gameplay. So hopefully this does a massive job and just treats the camping problem. I would love that. And every patch they're going to go through, try and rebalance maps, you know, make sure the pallets are in the right space, just tweak little things that do in general change the entire feel of the map and how it plays. I'm pretty happy with this. Hopefully it's going in the right direction.
Or what kind of maps are we going to be targeting next? I think I know what it might be.
I'm sure you
We
do.
need a drum roll over here.
I know.
We really do. Because this one is a big one, and I'm sure that the longtime players will be ecstatic to hear that the next 2 maps that we're targeting are some of the most notorious maps in Dead by Daylight. I'm talking about 2 Coldwind farm maps, Fractured Cowshed and Rancid Abattoir.
Delete the cornfield maps. I really hope we get some sort of scary filter here. Please give us back the darkness, give us back the mist, give us back the spooky. But I'm looking forward to them doing something with these maps. Don't know what they're gonna do. Probably not what I want, but anything is better than nothing.
We got a lot of requests on this feature. All DBD players know that sometimes when a survivor disconnects, well, it put the rest of the group at huge disadvantage. And it's safe to say that at this point, it's not going to be an ideal experience. So
true.
That's why with our upcoming feature, once a survivor will disconnect, an AI bot will take over so that the game can continue, and who knows, maybe this bot will be even better than the player who just disconnected.
I mean, it is true. That is true, right? Because let's face it, the bots, when you play a custom game and add bots, the bots can be pretty damn spicy. Like, they can loop. They are good at staying out of line of sight. They're hard to see. But I think interestingly here on the screen, we can see that the 2 survivors that left the game are Steve and Nancy, because they left Dead by Daylight, and you can see there it's got a tag to tell you that they are now a bot. But man, this changes so much. You know, maybe people will disconnect more, but I don't think I'll really mind so much if they disconnect and you've still got that gameplay experience. You know, the entire game is not ruined because one person just disconnected or they crashed or whatever. Let's face it, they disconnected. But really cool. Love this feature. It's been a long time coming. They've got this on DVD mobile. I've been saying I wish we would get it on PC, and we finally do have it. We're finally getting stuff from mobile over to PC. For some reason, they developed mobile so fast and added so many new features, and then we just got left behind on PC and on console, but we are finally catching up. Yes. Okay, and now, probably the most exciting thing from the entire live broadcast, Ilford, also. I grew up here, spent all my time here. God, I know where that is. I used to walk around here, literally spend all day, every day there. I didn't actually know Supermassive Games was up there. I kind of want to see if I can go visit their offices.
We're obviously all horror fans here at Supermassive and massive fans of Dead by Daylight. Now we're thrilled to be collaborating with Behaviour on a brand new single-player interactive story game set in the terrifying omniverse of Dead by Daylight.
We've been working hard to blend the tension, agency, and branching storytelling of a supermassive game together with Dead by Daylight's mythology to create an intense narrative experience filled with powerful life or death choices. Our game will be set outside the entity's realm and feature the story of a new cast of characters who players will follow for an unprecedented experience beyond the fog.
This is a whole new
Amazing.
way for horror.
So, you know, I've played all these games before. Until Dawn, The Quarry. I can't even name all of the other games. Bloody Man of Medan, Little Hope, House of Ashes. They made Little Nightmares 2 as well. Really cool. Interestingly here, though, they say that outside of the entity's realm. So what's that mean? Not in actually Dead by Daylight, essentially. A new cast of characters, so characters we've not seen before, which I do think that probably we will then see added to DBD afterwards, perhaps, if anyone survives. Players will follow for an unprecedented experience beyond the fog. I'm not really sure what they're going for there, but I'm interested to find out. I love these guys. They make such great games, such awesome, just fun, and, you know, something you can replay through over and over again. So really stoked about this. Like, just, I'm shocked, to be fair. I don't know if they could have had better news, you know. And then we got another announcement from Midwinter, which is the company that Behavior bought last year. A games company. They'd only made one game called Scavengers, but Behavior bought them and their IP Scavengers, which they've not done anything with. And they've said they're making a new Dead by Daylight game that's a multiplayer PvE experience. So I assume this is going to be something like Left 4 Dead or some other sort of co-op horror game, which has become a very popular concept and genre over the last few years. But this, interesting as well. I'm not entirely sure, you know, how much I trust this Midwinter company, but under Behavior's, you know, supervision, maybe it'll be super cool, maybe it'll be trash, who knows. We heard the announcement that Dead by Daylight is partnering up with Iron Maiden and also with Slipknot for a bunch of characters. The Iron Maiden collection is built around Eddie, which is the like mascot character for Iron Maiden. And then over on the Slipknot side of things, we're getting 9 masks into the game. And, you know, there are some really good masks from Slipknot, so I don't know who they're going to be for. Some of them, you know, one of them looks like a clown. One of them looks, I don't know. We had a look at them on the stream. Definitely interesting. I hope that... Oh, it says all for killers. Oh, come on. I was hoping to get some for Jeff. All right. All for killers. Well, 9 new masks, 4 different killers. I can't wait to see what they're going to be like, honestly. I hope they're really good. We've got to have the guy. He's called Dick Nose, all right? I'm okay to say it. The guy's name is Dick Nose. Will we have the Dick Nose mask? Yes, we will. Who's going to get the Dick Nose? What killer could get the Dick Nose? Someone tell me. Trapper? Maybe, I guess. We had Ikumi Nakamura come in, who has done a bunch of games. And she has been tasked to make 3 skins for DBD. And where are they? They are cool. We've got this skin. We've got this skin here for the Oni, which is Kazan, which is just terrifying. Actually, we've got some 3D renders in here somewhere. Just look at that mouth. The candles are really creepy. That is a good looking Oni skin. Not a big Oni fan myself, but I like this a lot. We've got a skin for the Legion, for Susie. We've got the schoolgirl theme, the Japanese schoolgirl theme. Interesting. The mask looks spooky, you know, and that's running after you. Probably quite creepy. And then we've got a Yun Jin skin, which is, I don't know, really. Sporty, maybe stealthy. I don't know. It's very skin tight, but it's a different look for Yun Jin, and, you know, absolutely fine. And then finally, we had an announcement here that we're getting a Naughty Bear skin for the Trapper, and this kind of blew me away here.
And we'll give him a royal treatment.
That's a Trapper skin. It's going to be, I think it's actually going to be properly animated, not just like the Legion skin, which is, you know, just a bunny suit on a character. I think this is actually going to have expressive eyes and stuff like that. And then afterwards on the Dead by Daylight website, this was posted, and channel your own inner Naughty Bear with a legendary outfit for Trapper, which comes complete with a unique Mori. It's happening. For the first time, we're going to get a different Mori in the game for a killer attached to a skin, just like they do on mobile, funnily enough. And they are starting with Trapper, who has the weakest Mori out of all of them, let's face it. So, can't wait to see what that's going to be like. Give it to me. When are we actually going to have this? I don't know. Give it to me now. As a Trapper player and a Trapper enthusiast, I will be buying this. And I cannot bloody wait. Give it to me. Let's go. We had a checkout at the Twisted Masquerade, the anniversary event this year, which is going to start next week. I love what they've done to Father Campbell's Chapel. Love this map a lot. And they've added in some cool new stuff here. You know, sparkled it up a little bit. I like it. You know, it looks decent. We've got some new graphics for things. You know, some new balloons. Fair enough, you know, as to be expected. And then we have the new masks. A whole set here of 12 masks. Some of these look really cool. Some of them don't so much. You know, like we've got a night mask here, which looks super terrifying. Like that is freaky as hell. Legion, the Nurse, the Singularity getting one. Meatball getting his own skins already. Oni one looks great. You know, the Blight looks kind of cool. But down here, we've got Felix Richter. Okay, Master Felix. Gabriel Soma, he's got like a bloody visor. Jeff is getting like a French bulldog or like a pit bull mask. Cool. Jonah's getting one, Meg's one, and Zarina. The Jeff one, we get a little look at that again. And this year we're getting Nia getting a special cosmetic that everyone can unlock by playing through the event. Interesting, you know, decent haircut. And the Hillbilly also getting a masquerade set. Pretty cool. And then if we look here, you can see, look at Jeff, dude. They've turned Jeff into a dog. And I love it. I can't wait to play with it. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm into it. Honestly, I'm super into it. Bring it on. And then finally, we got the announcement. They'd already shared it on Twitter, but it's because of the leaks. People leaked it, so they had to come out and just say it. So it was official. So, you know, it didn't slip out and, you know, they look like idiots or whatever. So we got the announcement that, well, take it away.
There's nothing more powerful than imagination. It can shape the fabric of reality, transforming everything you may think you know.
Hey, who's that? It's Nicolas bloody Cage. Now, this is unconfirmed, but this was posted on a website here. Cage will play himself in the game, so he's actually playing as Nick Cage. Interesting, and will be a survivor. And after countless awards and over 100 movies shot across the globe, Nicolas Cage has seen it all and done it all, or so he thought. While on set, filming the role of a lifetime, his performance summoned the entity, a malevolent being of incomprehensible power. The actor soon found himself cast in otherworldly fog, forced to survive a host of terrifying killers, deadlier than even the most scathing film critics. So, confirmation there that it is going to be a survivor, and it does take place basically as the next chapter as far as I'm concerned, because at the end of the trailer here, it says learn more on July 5th, and we have seen that where is it? There it is. That the new survivor coming on its own is coming in July. So let's face it, the chapter in July, or the paragraph, will be Nicolas Cage. And that was it. We've got a code for 400,000 blood points, which I don't think will be usable for long. You could try entering it, what's to lose. And then also there is a code for this Roblox Trapper Charm, Trapper 7. So there we go. There is the wrap up of the anniversary stream. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Interesting. We got an interesting future coming up here. Really, just a lot of stuff. Gameplay improvements, looking great. Bots for disconnected players. Also, if you report a player and they get banned, they will message you. Where is that actually? Let's find out. So, right, here we go. Found it. Right, so report feedback. Thank you for your help. The following reports have been processed and appropriate actions have been taken. So, you reported someone for exploits. They had action taken against them. I don't know what that means. Unsportsmanlike. Interesting. When I report someone for being unsportsmanlike, does it actually go somewhere? But this will be really interesting because you will actually see if the things that you did, the people that you reported, if stuff happens against them. I'm sure this is like a splash screen. This is not official, but I am interested by this. I wonder how it's going to work out. But, seeing a bit of the UI is good as far as I'm concerned. And that's pretty much it. All right, that's it, me wrapping up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, come follow me over on Twitch where we watch this all through, and we'll be talking about it in depth later on today and probably going on for the next couple of months. And of course, the P2B over on Tuesday. So take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. Panda and Nicolas Cage out, coming to a trial near you soon in July. Wacky, crazy, fun.